Chase, how you feeling?
Good. Still a little tired, but happy with the win and happy to be showing off some of the other areas that I've been improving and just show off the fight IQ improvement. Couldn't ask for a better night.
It's been a few minutes since your fight. How did you feel about your performance?
I felt really solid. I mean, obviously I have to go back and watch it, but I felt like I was able to, make some reads, make some adjustments in the fight. Obviously, I should have stayed a little longer on the strikes to try and finish that a little earlier. I think the end of the first, it all kind of blends together. But, obviously there's still a lot of improvement. But again, like, time's on my side. I'm 23 years old. Still really young in this sport, but I think I found my way back to the division that suits me best. Like I was saying it this week, my Contender Series fight was my first time ever in my career making 145. Before, when I was on the regional scene, I was walking around at like 160, fighting at 155. So, 55 is where I started out at. I was obviously too small then. I bulked up a little bit, and it feels good to be back at lightweight. It felt great this week. And, I think I showed with my performance. I was able to push the pace, and this is really where I'm starting to, hit my stride here on my 7th UFC fight.
You've hinted at it for past few fights, but like, how much weight were you cutting to get down to featherweight?
I was probably walking around at like 185, which, I was still making it, but the issue is that my body would stop with the diet. It would stop, sorry, a little dehydrated still. My body would stop losing weight at about 170, 175. So I had to switch the last couple of weeks of my fight camps to like protein shakes only. Protein shakes, and then I would have little like packets of honey before training. So I was murdering myself trying to get down to 145. And I had to be vegetarian that whole time too. I was, really restricting myself in and out of fight camp, just trying to, fight puberty and stay at 145. And I think it was, at the end, doing more harm than good. And I feel great at 55 now, so.
Do you regret your run at featherweight?
No. I'll never regret any of these fights. They all, they were all experienced. It's the old saying of like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So it's needing to find out that something's broke in your game plan or in your, whatever. It's needing to find those issues and seek them out. And the hardest part about it is just the ego side. You're really only able to find those out in these, 15 minutes of time under the lights. It's almost impossible to try and find that out in the gym. You don't know how you're going to deal with the pressure and the weight cut and all that going into a high stakes fight where, your career and your health are on the line. So it's, obviously I would have liked to have won all of my fights, but, you got to take it as it comes, and it's really building experience. It's building, my resilience and my fight IQ. Like, I feel like a veteran now, like, at least as far as UFC goes. Like, this, again, is my 7th UFC fight, 5th here at the Apex. I know exactly how the process goes. I feel comfortable here. Like, this is normal to me. Obviously fighting isn't normal, but this is as normal as it can be for me. So I'm in a great spot right now.
What was the biggest thing that would you say you improved on between your last fight and this fight, like during training camp?
Really my mantra here for the camp, and I kept repeating it on the way out. I was repeating it right before the fight started. Chin down, hands up. Chin down, hands up. Last fight, I felt I came in a little too focused on the offensive striking, where here, defense was number one priority. I was really just trying to kind of set the distance a little earlier in the fight and, try to get a little respect on the striking. But, just really working on that defensive striking, working on that fight IQ, trying to build a couple little tricks in and just work on the fundamentals.
How does it feel to be back in the win column and to shut all the doubters up?
I honestly, like I said again, this is my 7th UFC fight. Since 18 years old, I've had people on the internet telling me either that I'm amazing or that I'm trash. And neither of them are right. The answer is somewhere in the middle. That's what we're all here for. So it's really just been about growing. Like my brain's starting to be more developed, so I'm able to kind of ignore that and realize like my performance here in the octagon doesn't determine me as a person. It's not going to change what my wife thinks of me when I get back down to my teammates. Just maturing overall and, letting my performance shine. Like some of my last jiu-jitsu tournaments before I started fighting were my best performances ever in that sport. Like I had no fear, no ego. I was able to just go in and perform, and I feel like I was able to do that tonight. And so I'm just trying to keep that up.
Last two for me. So staying at lightweight, obviously you have the weight, but are you going to bulk up, get more muscle on that frame?
No, I said that I started cutting from 185 to make 145. That's not necessarily where I started cutting for this camp. I did a bit of a dirty bulk. Again, like I said, I started eating meat again. I started lifting a little harder. Hopefully that shows in the fight. I'm hoping I'm a little more muscular looking. Not as many people calling me like skinny on the internet, but I think I don't think I need to put any more size on, and I think it showed tonight. I was able to, keep up with a guy that's been at featherweight his whole career. Like he's a decent sized featherweight, decent sized lightweight. He's not undersized, neither am I, and it just lets me know that I'm in the right spot.
When's an ideal return date for you?
I'm taking the summer off, just let my body heal and all that. Got to rebuild my deck, got some homeowner things to do, enjoy the summer a little bit. I'd like to be back, October, November, December, somewhere in the next, 6 to 8 months. Again, like I was saying, I said it in the UFC.com interview, like there's a ton of honestly really fun jiu-jitsu guys here at lightweight, and I'd like to kind of test myself against those guys. Like I had a jiu-jitsu match with Clay Guida back in December. That was a huge confidence boost. To beat a Hall of Famer guy in grappling, it let me know, like, Clay's no slouch. He's been in the game for a while, so it let me know, like, I have really solid grappling. I'm improving in the other areas, and I just want to test myself against more grapplers and again, build those other two skill sets up.
Is Clay somebody you would like to fight?
No, not necessarily. I don't feel like I've earned that. And that's not really what I'm here to do. I'm not trying to call shots right now. I just am trying to take it fight by fight. Like, again, I'm still trying to build my skill set. I'm 23. I got a lot of time on my side. Just trying to, again, make sure that I'm doing it right, doing it smart, and, I'll take whoever they give me.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
I've just got one question for you. You kind of already mentioned a little bit about fans online and reading things that people say about you, but I'm curious if it's different when you're reading other fighters' comments, because during the fight, it was an overwhelming support. Everybody was saying how great you looked, how improved you looked. Does that really mean something to you that your peers are acknowledging you in that way?
Yeah, it's the nice thing about here at the UFC is like very few of the people here are trying to prove themselves. That's really what I feel like you run into with a lot of people on the internet is they don't, it's an ego issue for them. Like they're missing something, so they're trying to take that from you. And the only way they can do it is trying to, ruin your day with a comment on the internet. So it's, like you don't really see a lot of trash talk from fighters unless it's, again, same division, like call-outs, that type of thing. But that's business. I think everybody here respects each other, and it's nice to see, obviously I haven't seen all what people are saying, but, it's nice to get a little bit of respect and a little bit of appreciation. That's all we're here for. Everybody wants to know that they're doing something right, and it feels good. Thank you.
Quick one from me, Chase. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Obviously, once they went to read the cards, 30-27, 30-27, 30-26, has to tell you, like, yes, I'm where I belong. This is great. But just real quick, share with me how it was in between rounds, because I saw you just unload the clip and still do it again. So you must have felt good in there.
Yeah, I was saying this whole camp, like, I knew Fiore's a tough guy, training with Cater, training with Font. Again, these are people that are on the cusp of world titles, but it's just telling myself, like, just because someone trains with this individual doesn't mean they're that guy. Like, I didn't fight Calvin Cater tonight. I didn't have to fight Rob Font tonight. Thankfully, both of those guys didn't have to fight them. But knowing a guy's from a great camp, knowing that he's pretty well-rounded, pretty solid jiu-jitsu, I really wanted to push the pace on him. That's been my style from day one. I've always had great cardio, but it's trying to bump it up a notch. Like UFC is the highest level of the sport, and I just wanted to show that I'm reaching that level. Obviously, I would have liked to finish, but again, I'm still working on the striking. I'm still working on the positioning and the grappling. But I can't complain. I think it was a pretty solid performance.
Excellent. Keep up the good work, and I can't wait for you to work up and get those Font and Taylor fights.
Thanks,
Sir.